This video is specifically for the honors students. I am addressing the essays that you guys turned in on your foiled pairs. So if you would bear with me, I've got a couple of your papers up on the screen. Don't worry, I'm not going to say anybody's name, for examples. And also I've got a bunch of notes that I wrote down. Some of you turned in a Word document that I could specifically write comments on using comment boxes, and some of you did not do that, so I took some notes. What I want to do before I talk about specific examples is tell you how I scored these essays. As you know, they were quiz grade. They were out of 40 points. The thesis was out of 10 points. Topic sentences were 4 points. Support and quotations were 4 points. Explanations, support, expansions, the warrant part, if you would like to call it that, was 10 points. Conclusion, paragraph, 5 points. Grammar and usage, 5 points. And then MLA usage was 2 points. All right, so the essay had 2 parts, asking you to by using the foil pair to highlight the contrasting traits, and then also how this pair or how the foil illumined a theme or an idea, a larger theme or an idea that Sophocles was trying to highlight. So let's start with the thesis statement. And if you remember, we discussed how a thesis needs to do more than just say this foil pair shows contrast among itself. It has to make some kind of idea. It has to show an idea or something that you're going to prove. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So this person's thesis states, Antigone and Ismene are contrasted through the decisions they make and the paths they take throughout the course of the play. So this is a very basic thesis. This thesis probably lost 1 or 2 points out of the 8 points because it doesn't tell me anything. It's just saying that they're contrasted. Now it does say they're contrasted through their decisions and paths, but it's not saying contrasted in what way or to what effect. And listen to this thesis statement. Through their similarities and differences regarding pride, it becomes evident that Antigone and Creon represent the greater theme of pride's role in a person's life. See the difference? So they both say they've got similarities and differences, or the other one talks about their contrast. But this one specifically says the contrast is coming through pride, and then it also addresses the greater theme, right? The part about how this foil is illumining a greater theme or idea. So this one talks about the greater theme of pride's role in a person's life. And if you remember, we discussed when you have 2 aspects of an assignment, a lot of times it's a good strategy to have your thesis statement be a complex sentence. So one aspect of the assignment would be subordinated in the subordinate clause, and then the other aspect of the assignment would be the main aspect, and that's in the independent clause of the thesis statement. So that addresses the thesis. Now let's talk about the body part of your essay. And so your topic sentence, if you remember, addresses or answers the question raised in the thesis. So in this thesis, through their similarities and differences regarding pride, it becomes evident that they represent the greater theme of pride's role in a person's life. So the question is how? How are there similarities and differences showing pride? And then how is it that these two characters are showing us pride's role in a person's life? So my topic sentences are going to answer that question. A lot of you, if you scored lower, you will see in hindsight that your topic sentences were plot. You gave me a piece of the plot, such as the play begins immediately after the aftermath of the battle between Antigone's two brothers. You're giving me plot. Antigone approaches Ismene with the idea of secretly burying their brother's body in order to honor him and please the gods. That is strictly a retelling of the plot. Whereas a topic sentence should be your opinion, again, answering your thesis. Some of you wrote this whole essay without one reference to the story. You did not one time give me a direct quote, or you did not use a parenthetical citation to support your opinion. Some of you were very close though. Some of you got high 80s, like 88s or 90s. You're very close, and it's just that I wanted a little bit more, a little bit further explanation or usage of words from the prompt. And so maybe your argument to me was, well, I only had 1.5 pages to 2 pages. And so, yeah, that's where you have to be choosy. That's where you have to be concise to the constraints of the essay. So, yes, that's what I would say to that. I will say, well, before I get to something that I really liked, I will say that at this point it was surprising to me some of the grammatical errors that I saw. Some of you were still using the usage of you and us in this essay. There were subject-verb agreements, particularly pronoun antecedent agreements that I thought at this point in the year would be taken care of. Someone used a source, an outside source, with no parenthetical citation and no works cited page. So those were some things that I saw. Now I will say this was very interesting. One of you used 2 foil pairs and showed how the second foil pair paralleled the first foil pair. And I thought that was very great strategy, very interesting. So I'll read this a little bit. So we have Antigone and Ismene is a foil pair, but then Creon is parallel to Antigone, and Haman is paralleled, I think, to Ismene. And I thought that was a very interesting take on the project, on the assignment. So if you would like to speak with me about your essay, I would love to talk to you. So I can have your essay in front of me and you can pull up your essay in front of you, particularly if you are thinking of doing AP English next year. I'd really like to talk to you. Give me a text. It's not something we have to do today. I know a lot of you are trying to get your projects done, and then the next couple of days you probably have Zoom classes that you've got to do. So in the next few days, maybe the next week, you've got spring break coming up. When it's convenient for you, text you, and I will try to respond back as quickly as I can, and we can set up set up a time to discuss your particular paper. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you later. I hope